The only place I can go from here is downhill after that intro. The best business book ever, really. Where's that money again that I was promising? No, folks, I appreciate the opportunity. You know, it's interesting. I was at Channel 5 doing this little promo for a book signing we did last month, and I was talking about the fact that Conji Anthony was saying, you know, do you write books for a living and everything, an entrepreneur? I go, no, it's actually a hobby. I just do this for the fun of it. But I thought our story was interesting. Dr. McDonald was on her radio show recently. We were talking about these things, and I don't know, y'all. I think that today's world, is it still tough out there? Raise your hand if you think the economy is still in pretty tough shape. I mean, I know my industry is really hard right now. It's just tough, right, Jerry? You get into these situations where I think that people, if this book is doing well, I think there's a reason for it. I will give one little quick commercial and say that I am so proud of this. This book, it came out, I think the pub date was actually January the 13th. Little pre-sales, 1,000 of these have been sold already to this date. And this is only a month later, so I'm really excited about that. Let me tell you, I got to do a little commercial for what do I do for a living? What is my business? So Julia, right, I got to do this. You're paying me to do that. So we do video conferencing. Anybody ever been in a video conference? Raise your hand on that. So what we do, you wouldn't have to actually see me if I wanted to do this via video conference, or as Pierce and I were talking about, FaceTime. How many people do that? Where it's crazy in my industry now that you can actually turn around and with this iPad or my phone, that's, where is it here, you can do a video conference right here. That is scary for me, but exciting at the same time. Right there on cue, right? So FaceTime. So you can do that. We also do things like distance learning. So Dick, we were talking about that earlier, right? About the fact that you can have teachers in one location and have students at remote locations hundreds of miles away. Anybody ever been in a distance learning room with a class at the University of Memphis, University of Tennessee, your clients? Now let me digress for a minute on a personal note. So ISI has been in business since 1996. I'm going to tell you some stories of how we've grown through the years and everything, and it's been a heck of a ride. But you know, you have to get started someplace, right? As a startup business, somebody has got to take the chance on you as a brand new entity. You got a business card, maybe it's a temporary one you made over mailboxes, etc., or something. I did that in 1996, and I am very proud and a little bit emotional about this to tell you that my very first customer is in this audience, Dick Godomsky with PSI. So Dick, would you please? Thank you. I'm here because he was there for me in 1996. So we're very gratified by that, very grateful. And I'll tell you another story. Dick has come to my office. Dick has seen a copy of the first order. It's bronzed in my conference room. That's how much we think of Dick and PSI and what they did. They took a chance on us. Here's some other fun things we do with the technology. Telemedicine. Anybody ever heard of telemedicine or what the doctors are doing? This is really interesting, y'all. We're taking our technology and actually have the ability to use video conferencing to connect up from places like Little Rock, Arkansas, to reach out to rural areas to treat patients that otherwise might not even go to the doctor. They're having problems with maybe heart, ear, nose, throat, you name it, dermatology. And a quick story on that is that one of the folks that went into a clinic of ours in small town Arkansas had some stroke-like symptoms. In a matter of minutes, we hooked him up to Little Rock, to a neurologist who prescribed the TPA drug in the 2-hour period of time, right, to treat the issue. Got him back in shape 2 days later, going from potential death to back to work with our technology. So maybe saving lives, I'm not sure, certainly improving them. So that's a neat part of our business as well. So talk about the book for a minute. I'm going to digress to my technology here with my iPad and tell you a couple other little things that part of the ride that we've had with ISI, which, right, Julia, it's been a ride. Here's something neat. Company's based here in Memphis, got an office in Nashville, got an office in Little Rock. But here's something that I think is kind of neat. Last 10 years, we have made the Inc. magazine fastest growing private companies in the United States 7 times in the last 10 years. I think that's pretty fun, and proudly headquartered right here in Memphis. Not easy to do, a lot of competition. Does that sound exciting to you to make that list? Okay, good. But it comes at a price sometimes, and things happen along the way. So hold on to your hat. You may want to make a note of this. You may want to have your food digested right now before you hear the rest of it, because I'm going to describe to you one of the chapters in the book called The Summer from Hell. And I want you to picture this. I want you to picture 30 days. 30 days. 1 month in the life of a business. I want you to picture this rockin' and rollin' technology company that's getting all this great press and everybody's excited, and then in a series of days, 1, 2, 3, 4 people, sales team, 80% of my company's revenue walked out the door. Gone. One guy with me 9+ years, here's how I found out about it. I got a voicemail. Another guy calls me on vacation. Wonderful, right? 30 days. 1 month. Hold on. Same period of time, a trusted, Julia, you remember Danny, gets a liver transplant. Goes to the hospital, liver transplant, didn't make it out of the operation. He dies. Same period of time, good friend of ours goes on vacation to Gulf Shores, gets a sepsis, he dies. I go to 2 funerals in 1 week, Saturday. My sales team's gone. 2 key people, a friend and an employee gone. So I got your attention yet? How about the last part? My wife is diagnosed with breast cancer. We want to bring you to your knees? How about that one? 30 days in the life of a business. Did I invent this stuff? Do other people have issues too? Sure. But in a short amount of time, I thought I was going off the deep end. In fact, I can remember being so traumatized at that point in time that I was afraid to turn the lights off in my bedroom. Want to know why? Because I was afraid what the next day was going to look like. Anybody ever been like that before? 30 days. 30 days. 1 month. I mean, you start asking and questioning yourself, what in the world is going on here? I think Pearson, I got her attention, which was maybe those kind remarks about the book. 30 days. What do you do when something like that, or a series of things like that happens to you? You got a lot of choices. Would you define that as a crisis? Or multiple crises, right? Crises? Pretty tough stuff. But I think at this moment in time, you make decisions about the kind of person that you are, that you need to be, and how you can figure out a way to move forward. Write this one down as I go to the next part of it. Dr. McDonald, I'm sure you'll appreciate this. Here's the first tip. Pray every day. You cannot get through this alone. Pray every day. Write that down. No matter what business strategies are out there, write that down. But here's another thing, though. From a business perspective, since that's why we're here as a luncheon and everything, from a business perspective, what can crisis do for you, though? Do you fold up the tent? Woe is me, the 80% of the team's gone. You know, hang out at a bar, drown your troubles, whatever you choose to do. Does that make sense? Maybe for the guy that owns a bar, maybe, I don't know. But for you, what do you do? Here's some interesting things that happen to us. I think crisis creates opportunity, because here's what happened with us. You get an opportunity with people that are loyal to you, that you've got a mission, that they believe in. Here's what happened to us. The most unlikely people stepped up. Right, Julia? We got an engineering guy that works for us who's brilliant. His IQ is, ridiculous. He's got no personality. Guy has the most zero personality of anybody. We did emotional IQ test. This guy came out the bottom of I've never seen anybody get that low. Now, where would you think I would grade? I'm out of the roof on emotional IQ, terrible and technical. He and I make the greatest team. And you know what he did during that time? And all those guys left? He said, I can't make those people. Here's the deal. I put in too much hard work into this company. I'm not going to let this company fail. I'm going to help you. And so here's the thing. This is a guy that has no emotional IQ. He's a guy calling me at the condo that I was at after the last guy left me on the cell phone and everything and said, let's get a conference call. Let's motivate those guys. And I'm going, huh? Let's get them to, yeah, we're going to fire them up. And I'm going, the guys are remaining. And I'm going, really? Crisis can bring out the best in people. The cream rises to the top. That's what happened to us. And some of the most unlikely people can do some of the most extraordinary things. Think about that in your business. When you have those issues, look around. Who's with you? It's wonderful to sit around there, the Inc. 500, woo, you go to all those fun trips and everything. Anybody can ride the victory train. Anybody can. That's fun. It's when crisis hits. The people that work for you, they show what they're made of. I think that's interesting. And I'll tell you, that's a key ingredient for us. But what else? I would tell you that in our case, it was easy to look at the situation and say you could panic. You could. We chose not to do that, but here's another more important strategy. Okay, don't panic. But we had to make a decision about how we wanted to deal with this sales turnover in this team. What's a natural reaction when you got a problem like that that hits you in the middle of the summer? Quick fix. Fix it. Go hire some experienced people, get back on track. This thing's whatever. We chose not to do that. We thought about our business and said, look, we're going to take this thing and wipe it like a big slate and just wipe it clean. Let's look at this thing long term, and we're going to go hire people that can help us for a long time. So what did we do? There's a chapter in here about hiring and motivating the millennials, the young people. Now, for all of us that are around the same age or thereabouts, that's not necessarily the easiest decision to make. Millennials are different. They laugh at different jokes. They listen to different music. They got a lot of things. But what we looked at was, who can we train? And back to the goofy baseball analogy, right? To create a farm system with these folks for the long haul, not the quick fix. Took discipline, believing in yourself and those people as well. But that was the key to it, is that you got a problem, don't try to fix it just like that. Quickly, try to make this thing go for the long term. And it worked very, very well for us. Also, obviously, as I mentioned, don't panic. But you know what's interesting about business? Business can be many times, it's products, it's services, but it's also a head game, isn't it? So as we got into this thing of hiring these people back in 07 and redoing the whole company to a level, we also ran across this annoying thing you may have heard about called the recession. Anybody go through that a little bit? Pretty annoying, right? Still is. And one of the things I looked at when we were hiring these people is that what else they need besides my leadership or the company's leadership and putting this thing together and training. I thought about the psychological aspects of them coming in aboard after all this turmoil. And then right at the end of the year, the recession. So maybe it's the, competitor in me, stubborn, whatever. I kept thinking about it, said the recession. And I kept thinking about what we do for a living with video conferencing. We save money, we increase productivity, do all these different things. Okay, here's the deal. Every time we had a meeting, I said, here's the motto. For 2008, we're going to choose not to participate in the recession. I'm really sorry for those banks. I'm really sorry for all those other folks that did. Actually, not sorry for some of them because they misled people, but whoever, I'm not in that business. I got to focus on what I'm in business to do, which is to save people money, increase productivity, video conferencing. Julia, remember that? And I would annoyingly walk down the hall, kept saying, choose not to participate in this session. Everybody, oh, what was me? No. We're not going to participate. Did you hear the thing on the radio? Nope, didn't hear it. I got sports on. I don't know what you're talking about. We're saving people money. We're going to build this business back. We're going to do it aggressively because we got something that people need. And we're going to get it to them. So guess what happened the next year? Brand new sales team. 2007 to 2008, we went from 11 million to 14.5 in 1 year. And we chose not to participate in this session. We focused on what we did well. And here's a goofy, plain vanilla thing. Encourage people to work hard. Isn't that simple? Put your head down and work hard. There's no shortcuts here. You want to work here, you work hard. And they understood it. You come up with a game plan that people understand. You inspire them with what they're trying to get accomplished. It's amazing what people will do. And we chose not to dwell on the wrong things. Make sense? So that was part of the story as well and everything. I thought it was pretty interesting. And the other thing too is, when we did, because we're not a perfect company, when we did run into issues with a brand new team and otherwise, Dick, you went through this, you don't run around having separate meetings with people and all these kind of things. We worked out our issues as a team. If we have a problem, Angela's got a problem with Ron or whoever, we don't have separate conversation. We get all together. We are in this together. The recession didn't isolate you or whoever. It's everybody. So we worked it out as a team. Other things that I was looking at to try to figure out, like, how did we get through this thing? What was the mentality, and that continued to be the mentality in the company? And I started looking at, like, psychological aspects beyond just this cool little motto. What else was going on? I read a book by Dr. Carol Dweck called Mindset. I don't know if anybody's ever read that book. Carol Dweck, D-W-E-C-K, Stanford University. Brilliant lady. So she wrote a book called Mindset. And it talks about people that have fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Just the way they're made. Fixed mindset, what's that all about? A fixed mindset is somebody that typically is used to doing things a certain way, and they're scared of challenges. Why do you think that's the case? Fear of failure? This is the way I'm used to doing it? I really don't want to try anything new? What do you think the chances of somebody being successful at my business if you have a fixed mindset and you're in a technology business that's growing? Does that seem like a bad fit to you? It was for us too. We had to start looking at people and saying, all right, who's kind of stuck in their ways, afraid of fear of failure, and who's willing to be the growth mindset and look upon new challenges as opportunities to succeed, not look at the other way. And this is very hard in business. People in this room are good people, right? You want to do the right thing, you're loyal, and you're loyal to your people and they to you and all these kind of things, but sometimes you've got to make some of those calls, like you start out at one level, but then you move on to these other levels in your business. Are they going to move with you? And you got to really think about that one. Fixed growth mindset. Are you on the board to grow this business and your career? Or are you kind of like, I'm in the safe zone here, I don't want to move, I'm good? You can't do that. And it was hard for us to kind of evaluate some self-examination, but it was good part of the process there. I would contend in my industry with the to have a fixed mindset, those people will be out of business in the next few years. I can tell you that. But here's another thing, a tip, and I'm sure a lot of y'all would understand this. As you're looking at the people and saying the growth mindset and everything, what you also have to look at is, and this is, I'll say it again, a hard part, hold your folks and your employees accountable. Now, this is going to be a little bit touchy, but I'm going to say it anyway, so somebody throws something at me, but running a business is not like, Nancy, don't get mad at me, but it's not like a college campus. You don't have tenure here in a small business that you're trying to grow. God bless the University of Memphis. Great clients. Nancy's a friend of ours and everything. But you have a business that you're trying to make it every day. And by holding people accountable, you need to have them understand, I need you to work hard every day and hold you accountable for what you do for the company every day. If you're a good 5 or 8 years ago, congratulations. That's not today. Does that make sense? I know it's hard because it was hard for us. And I had to make some really difficult decisions a couple of years ago with people who have been with us 10 and 12 years. But they were stuck in the fixed mindset. You had to look at it every day. What are you doing today? When you have some bone of contention, you know, the buck stops here. If you're the owner and everybody's looking for you for leadership, you've got to make those tough calls to move forward. And I would recommend, you need to look at that and make sure that everybody's on board and that you're holding everybody accountable for what you're paying them to do and the expectations. And that could get on to a whole lot of other dialogue about setting expectations and some of the processes we've gone through to make sure people understand. Because you also have to be fair. Does that make sense? Okay, pretty serious stuff. Everybody's got that very serious looks on their face. It's not that bad. Here's some fun stuff. All right, Mimi, you're going to like this part. You paying attention? Okay. Creating a legacy. So here's the news flash for this afternoon at 10 of 1. People in this room, you're not going to live forever. Did you get that memo? You're not. So, in thinking about a business that next month, God smiled on us, will be 18 years old as a business next month. And I've been thinking a lot about the legacy thing as I'm trying to figure out what to do with my business. Maybe my son's getting involved with it and all these other things. But how do you leave your mark? How do you leave your mark? Professionally, personally, otherwise. we like to use ISI and my business as a platform to do some things in the community. And one thing we're very proud of, and the Mimi Ullman, who's part of the Education That Works program at Catholic High School. So I'm going to do the commercial now, Mimi, right? So here it is that what we... But we have the opportunity to bring a high school student into our business, as a number of companies do in the Memphis area, and give, most of the times, an inner city young man that's coming in there that has an opportunity to go to Catholic High and get a college prep type education. So we pay for that, and we get his labor every week or thereabouts in return. It's a win-win. He gets a great opportunity for education. We get an opportunity to have another worker at the office and get a chance to show him the way a successful business works. Teamwork, cooperation, task orientation, everything. It's a neat process, very easy to do, by the way. They have the bus come and drop the young man off. But, you get one person in that part of that program, just one person, that maybe years later graduates from college and remembers those days back and that crazy nut that had that technology business over in Germantown. I mean, that's called creating a legacy. And if it's just one person, this is not a volume-based thing, one person. If they remember you. My friend Bill Courtney, who did a wonderful job, y'all ever get a chance, just read the back of the book, because I'm in awe of the way he writes and just all these different things in here. He talks about it in his presentation. I think, Pearson, you've had him it's next month. Okay, I'm teaming up for Bill because he's great. You're in for a bigger treat than you are with me. But Bill talks about the fact of, when you leave this world, who cares? Who cares? You got the people over there that, well, they say, this and that and everything. They're dividing up your watch and your car and your house and all. And the kids, and we talked about that kid thing, right, Pearson? So it's all those kind of things. So that's one aspect of what we like about trying to create a positive legacy for the company, not just me and all this focus on that stuff. The other thing is interesting. I just got if I can find the chapter here, that we got several other stories here, but I just think this is on page 71, this is the coolest picture of St. Patrick's Church. I think that, in my personal opinion, it's ever been taken. And it was by one of our guys that works for us, but it's at night. Anybody know about St. Patrick's? St. Patrick's Church is, let's see, Mimi's over there. St. Patrick's front door steps are from about here, maybe a little further than Mimi, from the FedEx Forum. Now, I want you to think about this for a minute. FedEx Forum. I was there last night. A Tiger game costs you $50 to $60 a ticket. A Grizzly ticket will cost you 10 times that maybe, right? Or 4 or 5, whatever. You look at the dollars that people spend on one season ticket to one of those games, an NBA game, is more money than people across the street, a few hundred feet away, make in maybe a year. St. Patrick's Catholic Church represents the third poorest zip code in the United States, right, Dr. McDonald? And it just struck me, when you're looking at people in need, help the needy. It's a novel idea, right? And because I got that weird dimension of looking over there and thinking, haves, have-nots. I wrote in the book, like Tale of Two Cities. Crazy, extravagant, basic. When I want to be inspired, I go to St. Patrick's Church. My wife and I are practicing Catholic, and it's like every walk of life. So in their education center, they had a need for some equipment and technology. I'm not doing a pat on the back. I'm just saying, look for a place that has a need that touches your heart. And they definitely touched ours. So those are things to think about. Creating a legacy. So all this business stuff is wonderful, creating all this success and everything, but all those things are really important. And I will tell you one quick story from the business perspective. I just did the presentation at the University of Memphis called Know Good, Do Good, and Thrive. Since we started upping our ante in the community support, we've gone from 11 million to 25 million in sales. Is it because of what is the reason? I don't think it hurts for the community to know you're trying to do right by the community. So take that in perspective as well. All right, fun thing to close it out. I will tell you that I don't just put baseball metaphors on books. I actually play the game. So want to hear something fun? So about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I just got back from Tampa, Florida. If you read the intro of the book, I'm a crazy Yankee fan. So who's a Red Sox fan in here? Not you, no. I know your husband's not because he sent me the email. So, but anyway, had a ball. And in the intro of the book, I will tell you that one of the things was I was playing a game in Yankee Stadium before they tore it down. The old one, the one that, what's that guy's name? Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and all those guys played. And I had this battle with this 6'8" pitcher named Jeff Nelson. So I'm gonna spoil the story a little bit by telling you that I battled him, and he was pitching away, and I got a kind of a sort of hit, but a guy caught it. This is in 2008. I am proud to tell you, in January of 2014, I met Jeff Nelson again, and I hit the curveball. Thank you very much. 5 minutes for questions? Uh-oh, we didn't do good, Pearson. Nobody's asking.
We did so good that nobody answered questions because you answered them.
No.
Anybody have any questions?
Anybody want to know what the hit looked like so it wasn't a home run? Just going to tell you, it wasn't a double. It was a single. If you're a baseball person, the 6 hole, so it went between shortstop and third base. But I will tell you, when I went up there and got on first base, a guy that played in the 77 World Series, Chris Chambliss there, I hugged him. I got on first base. I'm looking at the dugout over there, my teammate, and a guy said, I've never seen the look of just pure joy on anybody's face. You look like you were 12 years old. And I said, guess what? I felt that way as well. I said, I've had all these wonderful business awards and things through the years and everything. I said, I will tell you, that hit, I was looking for that hit for 7 years since my first fantasy camp, so it was a lot of fun.